Good evening. Welcome to the press conference for USA-Lithuania. Lithuania winning this Group J game 110 to 104 to clinch first place in Group J. Obviously, both teams had already clinched spots in the quarterfinals. Anthony Edwards and Steve Kerr have joined us. Just before we start, if you could just make sure your mobile phones are switched on silent. And we're going to actually start with Coach Kerr with your comment tonight. First, please.
Yeah, it was a great basketball game. Lithuania obviously just came out of the gates on fire. I think they made their first 9 or 10 threes, took it to us, and I love the way our guys fought back, played much better in the second half, competed like crazy, and gave it a really good run, but it wasn't enough. We're fortunate that the loss doesn't hurt us in terms of our goal, which is to win the gold medal. But it's a great game for us to experience because this is FIBA. There's some great teams that have continuity, that understand what they're doing, that execute. And I thought Lithuania was brilliant tonight, and they deserve to win.
Thank you, Steve. Anthony, if you could give us a comment, please.
He said everything.
Okay. All right. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you right here in the front. There you go.
Big Fisher with Yahoo Sports. Steve, a couple of the guys out in the mix zone credited with miscommunications on defense with other screen actions and stuff. What do you think was kind of missing in the communication side of things on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, we were on our heels that whole first half. They were carving us up, and we definitely had some miscommunications. But as I said, we improved in the second half. We started playing a lot harder, which we are going to have to do, and had our chances. They made several really tough off-balance threes that allowed them to stay ahead. So, when a team does that, you give them credit. But as I said, we'll learn from this. We have a great tape to watch and see the things we need to improve upon and go from there.
Ant, just wondering where you are right now mentally after your first loss with Team USA and headed into the quarterfinals.
Luckily we get to play again, so that's all I'm thinking about. It's the next game. Yeah, that game over with. We're gonna watch film, learn from it, but yeah, on to the next one.
Steve, Tim Reynolds with the AP. It's every game means something, obviously, even though this one, like you said, didn't mean a whole lot standings-wise. How much did that concern you going in when you don't technically have a whole ton to play for? But yes, you're representing the country, you're representing, the program, all of that. Where did you sense that this could have been a dangerous one, just given that Tuesday was a lock no matter what?
Not really. I didn't feel like we let down. We didn't play particularly well against Montenegro, so we wanted to come out and play better, but they just punched us in the mouth. Right away, they made every shot. They executed, and so I don't think it was a case of us not being ready. I think it was a case of them playing a perfect first quarter and us understanding, how hard we're going to have to play to accomplish our goal.
Brian.
Steve, you've made it clear that you want to play right here. You want to play small and you want to switch, and you didn't. I don't think you went to two bigs much tonight. If you did it all, you kind of stuck with your game plan. Do you think that is going to carry you through ultimately, especially since not every team is as big as Lithuania?
Well, we did play two bigs, several times in the first half. When we had Walker out there, Bobby at the 4, Paolo, we had combinations of those guys out together. So I think, the thing with FIBA is you're putting a team together quickly. You're really having to go with your gut, at each juncture. Every moment where you feel like you need to make a shift, you got to make a shift. So we had our shifts today where we did have two bigs out there, it wasn't very successful, so we went with different lineups that we thought could do better, and we did have a good second half, but like I said, we were too far behind.
Itiel Dealer from Sportskeeda. And I have a question for you. So I noticed that you kind of thought there were a lot of no calls during the game. Do you feel like there was any unfair officiating, and how did that affect you?
Nope. You know, they beat us fair and square, man. Shout out to number 22. He hit 2 big threes in the fourth when we was making our run off balance, falling out of bounds. One of them was 2 seconds left. I stripped the ball. He picked it up and threw it. So, you know, shout out to him, man. It was his night. Yeah, so they beat us fair and square.
Sorry, right here.
Hi. Coach Steve, there were a few times that Lithuania targeted Austin, particularly.
I'm sorry, a few times that what?
That Lithuania targeted Austin, particularly in the post. Yeah. Was that a factor in your decision making and taking him out of the game, inserting him, and how do you think he's going to respond to that?
I took him out because of the foul trouble. So, you know, they posted him up. They're a very strong team, and a lot of their guys are, you know, trying to back us down, post us up, and just wasn't Austin's night. You know, he got a couple of plays down there that he'd like to have back, I'm sure, but I'm not worried about Austin.
Go ahead.
This is for either of you or both, because you were involved. There was a sequence where you appeared to steal the ball, but they ruled shot clock, and then you got hit with a shot clock violation. I think it must have been 14 seconds on the clock. Did they explain why that happened, or were you confused at all with just that whole sequence?
The way I understand the shot clock rule is that if a shot goes up and it's an air ball and the buzzer goes and you rebound, you can go. They ruled that we didn't have possession, and that you know, even though it was imminent possession from Ant, that it was a second after the shot clock, and so they ruled you know, that was a 24-second violation. And then the other one that you said, the 14 one, that was my fault, because when there's a foul, if you get the ball in the front court after a foul or a turnover, it immediately goes to 14, which is a specific FIBA rule. And that was my fault. I wasn't yelling out there to the guys. That's when we got the shot clock violation, and that's something we've got to, you know, take note of and get better with for these final 3 games.
Steve, I know it's, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter tonight so much, but were you aware during the game that, or made aware after, that the Paris berth has been clinched? Yeah.
Sean Ford told me that we qualified for the Olympics. So, you know, doesn't ease the pain of the loss that we had tonight for us, but for USA basketball, it's a good thing to you know, not have to go through any qualifying, anything further, you don't have to worry about anything else. But to be honest, I'm not worried about the Olympics. I'm worried about this. We want to win the World Cup, and that's our focus.
Coach, how much was Jaron's foul trouble and impact tonight? I think the final numbers, he was plus 16. USA was plus 16 with him on the floor, minus 22 with him on the bench.
Trying to figure out how that math would work. Where did those 6? So wouldn't you just be plus 16 and minus 16?
Maybe some free throws involved, or
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
anyways,
Jaron's got to be. He's got to be better with that. The first foul of the game, he can't get that one, and he knows that. And you know, we'll show the film, and we need him on the floor. He's one of our best players, and you know, the early fouls changed the game for sure, and then you saw how effective he was when he was on the court. So he's got to improve with that, and he knows that.
Right there.
John Marcus here from Spin.ph. So Coach Kerr, in this kind of game, do you still see, or do you still find satisfaction with the performance of your team despite the big deficits, or would you rather just forget about this game and just quickly focus on the next one and just adjust whatever there needs to be done?
I liked the game. I liked what happened tonight. because this happens so quickly. This, the bringing together of a team, and you practice for a few weeks and you play for a gold medal happens quickly. And it's different. FIBA is different from the NBA, and that's a big focus for our team. We talk about it every day, but these guys have to feel it. They have to feel how good these teams are. Lithuania is a brilliant basketball team. I mean, they move, they shoot it, they cut hard, they really well coached. So it was good for us. I hate losing. I probably won't sleep much tonight. But for us to get better, we needed to feel this. We needed to respond the way we did. And next game, we have to start the way we did in the second half. We can't ease into the game at all. And so I'm hoping that this is a lesson and we get better from this.
Okay, one more.
Karol Siva from Poland. If you had a chance to play this game once again, what would you do differently? It could go to both of you. Thank you.
If we had a chance to play
If you had a chance to play this game once again, what would you do differently?
Lithuania,
Yeah,
if
this-
we
this
play
game.
them
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
I'm not gonna give that away. We might play them again. So I might keep that to myself.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you.